Now, James Jordan, the father of NBA superstar Michael Jordan, may have been kidnapped before he was murdered. His body was found floating in a South Carolina creek. He'd been shot once in the chest. The 57-year-old Jordan's body was actually discovered a week and a half ago, but not identified until now. After being notified, Michael Jordan cut short a vacation here in California and flew to his home in Charlotte, North Carolina. The investigation is centered now in Fayetteville. Reporter Russ Reisinger is there with a NewsStar satellite truck, and he joins us now with the very latest. Russ?
Well, it was here in Cumberland County where this mystery first began. James Jordan's car was found here. His body was discovered about 60 miles south of here in a creek on the North Carolina-South Carolina line. Now, the FBI is treating Jordan's death as a kidnap homicide. Whether he was killed at random or possibly killed by someone who knew them, they just can't say at this point. Investigators admit they don't have much to go on. They're certain that James Jordan, the father of NBA superstar Michael Jordan, was murdered.
The only thing we know is that the cause of death was a single gunshot wound to the chest that severed the aorta.
A fisherman found Jordan's body floating in this creek near Bennettsville, South Carolina, August 3rd, but officials had no idea who it was at the time. 2 days later, on August 5th, Jordan's candy apple red Lexus 400 was found about 60 miles away in this wooded area near Fayetteville, North Carolina. It had been stripped and vandalized, and it took a week for investigators to trace it back to Jordan. That's when South Carolina authorities began to suspect that the John Doe in their morgue was in fact James Jordan.
That they did have a body, and at that point we started trying to find the dental records and so forth to go down to Bennettsville to see if it might be Mr. Jordan. Of course, we were guessing and hoping and whatever at this point, but it turned out that it was.
The 57-year-old Jordan was last seen in Wilmington, North Carolina, July 22nd. There were no signs of blood or struggle found near his car, leaving investigators not only to question why, but where he was killed.
The body was close to a bridge, but that's certainly not an absolute indicator that the body would have gone in at that point.
The FBI says the time lapse between Jordan's murder and the discovery of the body makes the case even more difficult. Right now, they have no suspect and no... And adding to the difficulty is the fact that Jordan's family never filed a missing persons report. Investigators only found out that he was missing when they traced the car to him yesterday. And something else that could possibly hinder their investigation, Jordan's body was cremated. The coroner says he had no idea and went ahead and cremated the body since he had no missing persons reports in North Carolina or South Carolina fitting Jordan's description. So there are a lot more questions right now about Jordan's death than answers. Back to you, Harold and Ann.
All right, thank you very much for that, Russ. A lot of people taking this very hard. The people who live in Jordan family's hometown were shocked and stunned at the news of the murder. The basketball star's former high school coach said that the father and son had always been very close.
I don't think he missed a ball game from the time that Mike started playing until he hit the pros. He was always at ball games. He always supported the team more than just coming out to cheer for his son, and I think everybody appreciated that. Because of the closeness, I think it's going to be real tough for him to get over. It's not something that he's going to get over in a couple of weeks. I think it's going to take a long time for him to deal with, especially the way that it, tragically, the way it happened.
There's a section of Interstate 40 that runs through the state that is named for Michael Jordan, and that's the road friends say they last saw his father driving.